What's up, Cubers? YouTuber here, and welcome to day 2 of TSLE. Now, before we get into the ALG, I just want to mention something I forgot to mention in the previous video, and that's that in this last semester of school, I am a whole lot busier than I have been in the previous semester, and you've probably noticed that in how little I've been posting videos lately, and so I'm just going to go ahead and say right now that it's probably going to be about 2 or 3 videos a week. And I'm still having, like several ALGs in a single video instead of just one like I used to have. But I think it'll probably even itself out. Like I had 4 on Monday and I'm having 6 today. So yeah, it'll definitely be probably even more ALGs a week than I have been doing previously, even though I'm not updating as much. So today we are looking at the pi case for OCLL, and again, you're going to recognize this the same way as you did with the previous ALG set, where you're only looking at the top corners, and once you know it's pi, you're just looking at the top corner colors. So this one is recognized with a right bar and a left opposite, and you're going to do an algorithm that I'm sure a lot of you know. If you don't, it's very, very easy to learn. You don't even really have to track anything. You're just doing lowercase f, sexy, lowercase f prime, then f, sexy, f prime. Okay, and this second algorithm is recognized by a bar on the left and opposites on the right. And so what you're going to do here is a f, r2 u prime, r u prime, r u prime, r prime u2, r prime u, r2 f prime. Okay, so here's how you track the pieces. So when you do a f, r2 u prime, you're going to want to remember this position right here with the F12, ZZF12 thing sort of right here, and then this regular F12 pair here. And you're going to remember that because once you do a RU prime, that's just doing the same thing twice. And then instead of just undoing that by just doing, U, R prime, you can get back to the same position by doing R prime, U2, R prime. Now you're in the same position and you're just going to undo your setup move basically, and then you have it done. Okay, so the third algorithm you're going to do is recognized by 2 vertical bars, and what you're going to do here is a R prime U, L U prime, R U prime, L prime U prime, L U prime, L prime. Okay, so here's how you track the pieces for the third algorithm. So when you do a R prime U, L U prime, you're basically just taking out 2 F2L pairs, and you just have them in an L like this. And then after you take out this F12 pair, you're just going to do a R to insert this one back, then U prime, L prime, and now you have this already back down. And what you're going to do now is just an intuitive insert. You just U prime, then L U prime, L prime. All right, so here is the fourth algorithm in this case. So how you recognize this one is basically like an X, or like everything is opposite relative to each other, whichever way you want to do it. So basically the alg is like this: RU, RU prime, R prime U, RU2, R prime, U prime, RU, R prime, F prime. Okay, so here's how you track the pieces. So when you do a RU, you're basically just taking this out. You do a Y, and then you're just going to do you are just moving this around a little bit with RU prime, R prime, U. Then you're inserting that into this slot with RU2, R prime. And then it's basically, you're just finishing out a slot with just U prime, RU, R prime, F prime. Alright, so the fifth algorithm that you're going to do is recognized by a diagonal, same, and opposite on the other way. So there are 2 cases like this, one like this and one like this. Each one of them has a AUF involved at the very first move, and so how you distinguish the two, at least how I distinguish it, you're never going to move one of these to the opposite plane. Now what I mean by that is, so if you have a piece up here in the, if you have an orange piece up here, or whatever color it is, you have 2 of the same here. So if you do a U, that would be moving this down into the different horizontal place. So you're always going to want to move the one here, here, and the one here over here, and the same with the bottom ones. You're never going to move the bottom one up to the top. I hope that makes sense. So here's the algorithm: U prime, R prime U2, RU, R prime U, R2 U prime, L prime U, R prime U prime L. Alright, so here's how you track the pieces. So basically you're going to do a U prime RU2 R, and that's just taking out the F12 pair, then U, R prime U, And basically, this first part is like an anti-tune. You're just doing a R prime U2 R U R prime U, but instead of doing a R, you're doing a R2, then U prime L prime, and you're creating sort of like an L. And then it's much similar to the third algorithm we did, where you're creating an L and then you're reinserting the other one. So you're just doing a U R prime that's inserting this, then a U prime L, and it's inserting this one. Okay, and the third algorithm you're going to do is very similar in how you recognize it and how you execute it. So basically, you're just going to do a U, R U2 R prime U prime, R U prime R2 U, L U prime R U L prime. Okay, so here's how you track the pieces for the last algorithm. So basically, it's the same as doing this, except it's reversed. So you're just going to do a U, R U2 R prime U prime, R U prime R2, and that's just the same thing. You're just basically doing a anti-tune algorithm. Instead of doing a R prime, you're doing a R2, and then you're going to do a U L U prime, and you're creating the L. Then you're inserting it with R. Then you're just going to do a U L prime and insert that last case. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday.